What is up, family? Welcome back to the channel. Right now, I am standing at the Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Katra railway station, and today we are about to pull off something absolutely historic. For decades, getting from the spiritual heart of Katra to the dreamscapes of Srinagar meant hours of winding, stomach-churning mountain roads, unexpected landslides, and a whole lot of traffic. But look behind me. That is the legendary, made in India, semi-high-speed Vande Bharat Express. And today, we are riding it all the way into Kashmir. We are talking about crossing the highest railway bridge in the entire world, cutting through dozens of massive mountain tunnels, and watching the landscape completely transform from the rugged Shivalik hills to the snow-capped, pine-covered paradise of the Kashmir Valley. Grab your chai, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump on board. Now, if you're planning this trip, there are two main Vande Bharat trains running this groundbreaking route. We caught the morning one, Train 2 6401, which pulls out of Katra at exactly 8:10 a.m. There's also an afternoon option if you want to sleep in. The ticket price? Super reasonable for what you get. You can grab an AC chair car seat for around 700 rupees to 850 rupees, or go all out like we did for the executive class, which is roughly 1,300 rupees to 1,700 rupees, depending on how early you book. Walking into this coach feels less like a traditional Indian train and more like an international flight. Look at these seats. In executive class, they actually rotate 180 degrees, so you can face the window directly as we roll through the mountains. Pure luxury. And just like that, right on the dot at 8:10 a.m., we are moving. The acceleration on this thing is incredibly smooth. No aggressive chugging, no crazy rattling, just a silent glide out of Katra. As we leave the station, you can see the holy Trikuta hills in the distance where the Vaishno Devi shrine rests. It feels amazing to start a journey to Kashmir with those spiritual vibes backing us up. Next stop, the engineering marvels of Riyasi and the legendary Chenab. You guys know I cannot travel on an empty stomach. And honestly, the catering on Vande Bharat rarely disappoints. Because this is a premium leg of the journey, breakfast is included in your ticket. I opted for the classic veg cutlet and poha combo, washed down with a hot cup of ginger tea. Look outside. The train is already starting to pick up speed, cruising seamlessly through the lower foothills. The digital display at the front of the cabin shows we're tracking toward 90 kilometers per hour, which is unbelievable given the sheer verticality of the terrain out there. Okay guys, look out the window right now. Seriously, look at this. We are officially crossing the Chenab rail bridge. If you don't know the statistics on this, brace yourselves. This mega structure towers a mind-blowing 359 meters, that's over 1,100 feet, above the riverbed. To put that into perspective, this bridge is taller than the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The engineering it took to lay these tracks through the fragile seismic zones of the Himalayas is nothing short of a modern miracle. Just a few minutes ago, we also zipped past the Anjikat Bridge, which is India's very first cable-stayed railway bridge, held up by massive, sweeping steel ropes. Sitting inside this pristine, air-conditioned coach, it's easy to forget that beneath our feet is one of the most daring, extreme engineering feats ever executed by mankind. Salute to the Indian Railways team for making this a reality. It is literally a game of hide and seek out here. You are looking at a gorgeous lush valley, then boom, total darkness as we dive into a tunnel, and then bam, another jaw-dropping view. This entire rail line features dozens of kilometers of tunneling. It cuts straight through the heart of the mountains instead of crawling over them. We're approaching Banihal now, which serves as the ultimate geographical gateway. Before this train line was completed, Banihal was the place where travelers would brace themselves for the dreaded Jawahar Tunnel road traffic. But for us, we're just flying right through it at high speed, completely unfazed. Wow! Guys, just look at how the world completely changes the second you exit the Banihal zone. It's like someone flipped a switch on the scenery. The rugged, dry cliffs are gone. Welcome to the Kashmir Valley. Look at those fields stretching out to the horizon. Depending on what time of year you visit, these fields change colors. Right now in June, it is an emerald green paradise. If you come in the autumn months of October or November, this entire valley glows in a fiery, golden red hue thanks to the iconic China leaves. And if you're lucky enough to book this ride during the winter months of January or February, you'll be looking out at a completely silent, frozen wonderland with snow piled up right against the train tracks. It is pure poetry in motion. As we glide deeper into the valley, the train makes a couple of brief, super efficient stops. You can see local families boarding, commuting effortlessly between towns. For decades, the local population relied exclusively on shared cabs or buses that could take half a day just to cross a few mountain ridges. Seeing a high-tech train like Vande Bharat seamlessly woven into the daily lives of the people here, it's beautiful. The energy on board is incredibly joyful, and honestly, the Kashmiri hospitality is already shining through. Everyone we've talked to is so incredibly proud of this connectivity. As we hit the final stretch towards Srinagar, let's do a quick report card on this Vande Bharat experience. Cleanliness? A solid 10 out of 10. The staff are constantly clearing trash and keeping the floors spotless. Comfort? The legroom is massive and there are charging sockets right under your armrest, so your cameras and phones stay topped up. But the real winner here is the time saved. This entire 191-kilometer journey takes exactly 3 hours. By road, you'd easily be looking at 6 to 8 hours of grueling, unpredictable driving. If you are planning a trip to Kashmir, skipping the flight or the mountain road and taking this train instead is an absolute no-brainer. have arrived. Welcome to Srinagar. Step off the train and the first thing that hits you is the air. It is crisp, cool, and carries that unmistakable scent of fresh pine and mountain streams. Just look at the Srinagar railway station. They've done a spectacular job blending modern transit infrastructure with traditional Kashmiri wooden architecture. The platform is huge, easy to navigate, and right outside those exit gates, your ultimate Kashmir adventure officially kicks off. From the spiritual serenity of Katra to the timeless, poetic beauty of Srinagar, all in just 3 hours. This hasn't just been a train ride, guys. It felt like watching a live documentary of India's incredible progress and the sheer beauty of Jammu and Kashmir. If you enjoyed tagging along for this ride, please smash that like button, drop a comment below letting me know if you would take this train ride, and don't forget to share this video with your travel squad. But do not go anywhere, because the journey is just getting started. In our next episode, we are heading straight to Dal Lake to stay in a luxury houseboat, exploring the Mughal gardens, and eating our weight in authentic Wazwan food. You do not want to miss it. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and I will see you in the next one. Khuda Hafiz.